I'm sitting next to an artist who was recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he's also got more platinum albums than I have fingers. Give it up for Alice Cooper!
Thank you.
First off, let's take a look at your induction ceremony from earlier this week.
Kachina, our snake here, felt a little left out. Because she normally performs with us, but you know, yes, that is Elton John over there. That's right. Such a groupie, it's unbelievable.
Congratulations on being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Thank you. You know, it was fun because we were really the only hard rock band there that night.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
So we got to really sort of attack that audience. It was great. It was really good.
You've been eligible for the Hall of Fame since 1994, but it's 2011 that you finally get inducted. What was the big rush?
You know, it's one of those things. I started feeling like Susan Lucci for a while. You know, and so you're just getting passed over, and then you get on the ballot, and we got right in as soon as we were on the ballot. I think getting on the ballot's harder than getting voted in, and there's no rhyme or reason. There's really no, there's no sort of protocol on how you get in.
Yeah, how do you get inducted?
They just decide that it's your year.
It's your year. Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
I was really disappointed in one thing. I thought once you got inducted, there'd be like a secret handshake.
Right.
You know?
Like you're a Freemason now or something.
Yeah, or you get an envelope saying what's really going on in Area 51, you know, or who killed Kennedy. You get some inside information on something, but you don't get that.
What, do you get a gift basket or anything?
Yeah, you get a little gift basket. I haven't even looked in it yet.
Oh, okay.
We didn't get done until the middle of the night, so. But it was pretty cool. I mean, you know, Elton was there, and Springsteen was there, and there was a lot of rockers there.
And you're actually from the Midwest, but you grew up listening to British bands?
Well, I was from Detroit, you know, and I ended up back in Detroit. The band ended up there in '68 and '69, where we grew up with Iggy, and we did shows every week with the Stooges and the MC5 and those guys. But from Detroit, the band got together in Phoenix, in Arizona, and then, you know, went to LA, got signed by Zappa, and then moved to Detroit.
Tell us about how you got signed by Zappa. I think there's an interesting story there.
Well, you know, we were the most hated band in LA at the time because everybody was peace and love. You know, it was great, you know, and we were Clockwork Orange. I mean, we didn't mind a little violence at all in the show, and we scared the hell out of people because they were all on acid, and we were pretty violent, you know, and so when they ran us out of LA. Frank Zappa said, no. I said, no, I want to sign you. You know, the best compliment I ever got from him was he listened to the songs and he went, I don't get it. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, these songs are 2 minutes long and they have 48 changes in them. So he says, that's why I'm going to sign you, because I don't get it. Well, so that was our first real break, as being signed. And then we met Bob Ezrin and actually started making, you know, records that we're going to sell. Tell us about the creation of Alice Cooper. Where did you come up with the name? Well, the idea behind Alice was we had a world of Peter Pans and no Captain Hooks. You know, I looked out there and everybody was a hero. Paul McCartney was a hero and everybody was a hero. And I kept going, where's Darth Vader? You know, where's the bad guy here? And I went, I'll gladly be him. You know, I would gladly be the dark character in rock and roll. And so Alice Cooper was born out of that. Parents just hated us. You know, I mean, it was a guy named Alice Cooper with makeup on and a snake and a guillotine and blood everywhere. And the kids were going, yeah, you know. And the parents were going, no. The more the parents hated us, the more the kids dug us. Oh, absolutely. And, but you had to have the music to hang it on, though. So it really took a Bob Ezrin to come along and take songs like 18 and Schools Out to really put them in a package that made sense. Your live shows include, like, we got a list here, hatchets, you wearing lingerie, obviously your guillotine. What was the first stunt that you performed on stage? Well, first of all, I have the body for lingerie. I look pretty good in lingerie. The first guillotine? No, the first stunt you performed on stage. Stunt, I think it was pretty much the very first thing we did was a guillotine on stage. Is it a real guillotine? Yeah. It's a guillotine that if it hit you, you would definitely die. It's a 40-pound blade, and it's like razor sharp, and it misses me by about that much. What? Okay, first of all, where do you get a real guillotine? You have it made. Oh, you have it made. Yeah. And why would you have it made with a razor sharp blade? Well, because if you use a rubber blade or a styrofoam blade, I know it's fake. And so Alice would go, oh, come on, put a blade in there. You know, if it's going to be death-defying, make it so that if it broke, you might die. So you have to give it a certain carnival effect that the guy could fall off the high wire. You know, you kind of look and you go, geez, this is kind of neat. The guy could fall. Well, an accident could happen on Alice stage.
Right.
You know?
Tell us about the chicken incident.
Okay, the chicken incident now. For all of you kids that don't know the chicken incident, we're in Toronto, and the last part of our show was we open up these feather pillows, and feathers everywhere. And the next thing I know, there's a chicken on stage. Now, I didn't bring the chicken. And I'm seeing the guy getting ready for the show. He said, I got my wallet, I got my keys, got my drugs, I got my chicken, I got my... You don't bring a chicken to a show. Anyways, it was on stage. And I went, well, it's got feathers, it's got wings, it should fly. I'm from
Stands to
Detroit.
reason.
I've never been on a farm in my life. A chicken should fly, in my book. So I took it and I kind of chucked it out there, fearing it would just fly away. It didn't fly as much as it plummeted into the audience, and the audience tore it to pieces. I mean, just, and threw parts of it back on stage. Next day in the paper, it says Alice Cooper rips chicken to pieces and rips the throat out, and you know, and all this stuff. And Zappa calls me up and he goes, did you kill a chicken last night on stage? And I said, no. He says, well, don't tell anybody. They love it. You know, they love the fact that you're the geek now. You're the guy eating chickens. Now, the kicker to the story is this. The first 5 rows to that concert were all in wheelchairs. They were the ones that destroyed the chicken.
They hated the chicken.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was something even more dark about that, you know.